All right, great. All right. Let's get this party started then, because there's enough to cover. Hey, Will, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I am super good. You know.
Good. Happy Tuesday.
Let's. I got my. Let me just go a little higher because this is what we're gonna be talking about today. Is man, it looks kind of crazy with my head. No, that's close enough. In business planning clinic, we really identify the systems and the structure of our business. We break down the goals and we figure out how many units we'll need, how many buyers, how many sellers, and then it comes down to what are the activities that I'm going to be doing on the daily to achieve those listing appointments, to achieve those signed contracts, those closed deals, and finally, get that profit number that I'm looking for, right? So I'm hoping there's the 135 is the worksheet we're going to be working off of, Will, and I will put a copy of it here. Let's go 135.
Here being the chat box.
I'm going to put it in the chat box. Yeah. As soon as I can, I have to separate it here. Boom. There she goes. That's interesting. What is that?
Joey, is this considered the business clinic or is this something else?
No, this is like an additional module to the business planning clinic. Okay. Carly, could you pull me up a 135, go into KW Connect and pull down a 135 for me? I have it somewhere on my desktop. I just can't seem to find it. I had a whole.
I'll find it in there. Hang on.
Yeah, it might be on my desk too. Anyway, this is about taking that goal and creating an actionable plan. Okay, and this is where every agent gets stuck, and they're like, well, yeah, I know what I want to achieve. I know what it'll take to the how many properties at what number I need to sell to achieve it. I know the systems, organizational and lead generation, but what am I know how many people I need to talk to. We did that in the business planning clinic, right? But what are the actions that I do? What's the system for staying connected to my people, right? That's what the 135 is. So the one in 135 is one main business objective. And then the three are three goals in achieving that objective. And the 5 is 5 strategies for each of those goals to achieve the objective in that particular goal, and add to my my overall objective. So I'm going to move to the side of this side here, right? In this, you see this here, as both of you can see this clearly. The one main business objective in this particular, for this particular agent, was to make $100,000. To do that, they needed to sell $4 million worth of properties. Their average price point was $750,000. Divided into that, $1 million. That's like 5.2 point something, but we always round up. So it's 6 units. So that means to achieve that $100,000 mark, they need to sell 6 units at $750,000. Does that make sense? Acknowledge.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's where we start. Now we break it down into the 3 goals. In this particular, the way I look at the goals is this. You should always have your sphere. Sphere is number 1. You want to plan for the people you know and who know you. How do I systematically stay connected and of value to the people that I know and who know me? Okay, number 1. These are Mets. These are described as Mets. These are described as contacts, right? A lead is a one-way conversation. A contact is a two-way conversation, right? You could be, so there's people in your sphere, that's establish a two-way conversation about real estate, not about real estate. That's not important. We're in a relationship business. Focus on the relationships. That's your objective. If you have a relationship of value, then the natural occurrence would be that if they'd had the need to buy or sell real estate, that they would use you. Okay, that's just the bottom line on it. So the first module that we want to approach, the first goal is the sphere. And then the other 2 conceptually are what are the areas that I'm going to focus on to get more people in my sphere? Okay, first the plan for the sphere, and then how am I going to get more people in my sphere? In this particular instance, this person was doing farming is one of their goals. And social media. They were using social media. The more you quantify, the better, right? So let's go down to, so there's 2 of you. Do you guys know your goal? Will, do you know your goal, your one main objective, your financial goal for this year?
My goal for this year, I'm still working on my goals. That's why I'm on here.
Oh, what are you working? How could you be working on your goal? Don't work on your goal. Work on how to achieve your goal. That's what you work on.
Well,
Your goal,
right.
you just put a pin in that.
Okay. So I guess for me, my number is 200,000.
Okay. So here's my other conversation, and you probably, both of you have seen me talk enough to probably have heard this prior. You want an unreasonable goal, not an unrealistic goal, an unreasonable goal. The difference is quite simple. An unreasonable goal is a stretch. We want you stretching till that last day of the year, right? And so you're building a mechanism. This mechanism here, you're building it to reach beyond your expectation.
Okay.
And so there's the concept of 10 times, right? They're like, oh, 200,000. Let's build a machine for you to make 2 million. Let's add a 0 on that, right? And so the concept is, if you build the machine and you are doing the activities to reach $2 million, $200,000 is going to be, real easy. Like a divisible of 10.
Well, okay, all right. I was just throwing out a number, but I guess for me, realistically, it's 400.
That's not unreasonably. I want to be unreasonable with myself and reach 400, right?
Gotcha.
Okay,
right.
Excellent. And Bea, do you also have a number?
Yeah, I think, well, 200,000 was mine, but then now that you're saying it has to be like like a million.
But I don't want you to be unrealistic. I just want you, to be, this is your second year in real estate.
Mhm.
$200,000 in the sequence of it is that's going to stretch you.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, right. Especially since some of your deals are shared, and so and so so we'll put. You want to put down 200? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
200 your search? Okay. So then my next question to both of you is, you've been 1 year into it, but you've been closing deals, and so what is your average price point?
For me?
Yeah, both of you.
Oh, probably like I think 900,000.
900. Okay. How about you, Will?
I'll say that 750 is closer for me.
750.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So so the 400,000 represents it's a 16 million, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
$16 million worth of production. 16 million times point 0.025. Right, that's right. Okay. So your average 750, I'm sorry, times point 0.025. Yep. So your average commission is $18,750. That's your average commission, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so multiply that 18 or divide that 18,750 into your 400,000. Okay, that's your math. And Bea, your 900 times 0.025 is your average commission is 22,500. Divide that into your 200,000. Round up always, right? All right, so what do you got, Will?
45.
45. You have to close 45 deals at 750,000 to get to that 400.
Okay.
Right.
There's some things in that I would address for you. 18. And that is focus on a higher price point.
Right.
Yeah, you're off. It's 21 deals.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's okay.
You said the 18,000 divided into the 400, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just is 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, 22 deals. 22 deals is what you got.
All right. Sorry about that.
That's okay, because no, I was like, that's a lot. 44 was too much. 44, you said 44?
Yeah, but I think I put it in backwards. I think that's
I always do that. You always have to put the bigger number first.
got it.
Yeah, because that's 825,000 for 44 deals, right? So you're at Will you're at 22 deals, and what do you have, Bea?
I can round up to 9.
9 deals?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, that makes it 8, 9. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. That makes sense in my visual math. So now you both know your first line, draw on your piece of paper, your first line should have your overall goal, which is your big number, right? Then next to it, I always put the number of units and at what price. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's at the top of the page. That's your one one large aspiration there, right? I call this. And so now you know how much you want to make, you know how many units you need to sell at what price. Now we move on to the sphere piece, right? And the sphere piece, we're going to accomplish the sphere piece today before we go, because I think this is the most important piece. How do we stay connected to the people we know and know us? How do you guys do it already?
Well, social media is huge. Like whenever I post an update, I'll get like the normal people that always will comment or reach out. And then just calling people.
Social media,
Mhm.
calls.
Joey,
Will,
one is the main goal. The three, give me the description of that one again.
there's the main objective.
Right,
That's what we just established for both of you.
right.
The 3 goals are how we're going to achieve that objective.
Okay, and then the 5 represents how to achieve
The
that
activities.
goal.
The activities.
Got it.
Right. So we're starting to talk before. All right, let's back up a little bit. Your sphere. Let's quantify what portion of your business will come from your sphere. Because I want to set
I
an
would say 80.
expectation.
Mm.
80?
No, I would probably say 50%.
But whatever it is good, right? Now we're gonna, if it's 80, then we're gonna spend most of the time on that piece, right? We're gonna put most of the energy, resources, and time into the thing that brings us 80% of the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why wouldn't you, and then I would say inside your sphere, you get into the inside your sphere. So your sphere is the 80% of your business, right? And it should take 80% of your efforts. I would say inside your sphere, you could boil that down even more and say that 20% of your sphere give you 80% of your opportunities,
Okay.
right? It's that small group. So then think about, hey, how about if I spent 80% of my efforts on the 20% of my sphere that brings me the most opportunity?
Okay.
And you're doubling down, you're really focused on the people who are giving you the best return.
Okay.
They're there. But so Will, where it says, so now we're going to go to the next line. So you have your one main objective, and you're going to put 1, 2, 3 across the next line, right? And the first one is sphere. And you're saying 50% of my business comes from my sphere. So in your particular case, that's 22 units a total. That means 11 units are going to come from your sphere.
Right.
Right? Put that next to your sphere. Put that, when you write sphere down, put that right next to it. Oh, right there. Does that make sense, Bea?
Yeah.
Same with you. Whatever percentage of your business comes from your sphere. It could be 80, it could be 90, it could be 100, whatever it is. We just want to set an expectation for that module, for that goal, right?
Okay.
What part of the whole? If this is 50% and farming's 25 and social media is 25, your day should be planned out like that. Your effort should be planned out like that. Your budget should be planned out for that. You shouldn't be spending 40 grand on social media and 3,000 on your sphere, right? You should be spending all that money on the piece that brings you the best return.
Okay.
All right. So now we have to look at the activities that we're going to do just in our sphere. What are we going to do for our sphere to stay connected, to build relationships, and to be of value? when choosing activities, guys, choose activities that you will do, number one, okay?
Mhm.
There's no gain in saying, hey, I'm going to cold call strangers, 20 a day.
Mhm.
If that is life sucking for you, soul sucking for you, you're not going to do it. It's okay. Choose the activities that you're going to do. Again, take the same approach with choosing the activities and the rapidity of the activities, the amount that you will do, as you did with choosing your goal. You could be unreasonable, but you can't be unrealistic. Unrealistic goals, unrealistic activities, expectations are only going to give you an easy out. It's only going to be easy for you to say, oh, I never was really going to do that anyway. That was a stretch anyway. I'm not, you're not disappointing yourself. Right? Because you set yourself up for failure. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what are some other activities that you do to stay connected to the people you know already?
For my sphere, I do email. I do phone calling. I do social media. That's my strength. Phone call is my weakness.
Yeah.
How
about
you know
text?
what's
Anybody text?
You know what? I need to do text. Yes, I need to do text.
Texting's easier than calling.
Right. Exactly. I need to do that. Okay. Texting.
So what is the purpose of all of this in this sphere? What is the purpose? What are you trying to achieve? Each of you, what are you trying to achieve?
You want to be on the forefront. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. To stay on top of mind.
Okay. What about you, Will?
I was going to say the same thing. You want to be on the forefront of people's mind when they think about real estate, or if they hear about someone else that wants to, purchase some real estate.
Right, and you want to be present. The point is, I mean, to both of you, I think you're both correct in saying you want to be present in the vernacular of their lives, right? It's people, this is a very personal process, right? And so you want to be part of their support system when they have a need, when they don't have a need. The way to get the opportunity is to get them what they want first, right? And sometimes that's real estate related, but most times it's not real estate related.
Right.
You know, if I had a friend who needed some advice for school for their kids, right? I'm going to share in that. I'm going to share what I know. I'm going to be available. I might even do a little extra, and say, oh, well, I know the principal over at the blah, blah, blah. I could give them a call if you like, blah, 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 and what do you think that does to our relationship? How do you think that person perceives me and integrates me into their kind of life fabric? You want to be a part of that experience so that they use you, of course, but if you can get into the feelings piece, they're gonna refer you to everybody they know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there are moments where that's easier, and there are moments where that's more difficult. But before they have the need, if you have established your value in their lives, it's there's a no-brainer, right? Anecdote, I just talked to an agent the other day, and they met someone at one of their other open houses, right? And they were selling another property, and this person, they just met this person at that property. They were going to put an offer in, but you know, they didn't get it, and so on and so forth. And like fast forward a year later, they saw her as a neighborhood expert in a way, right? And they're like, oh, you know, is there anything else like, do you have anything else like that coming on the market? But she showed them some stuff, and they wound up buying with her, but they didn't use her to sell their property. And they didn't use her to sell their property. You know, they were like, if we had met sooner, things will probably be different. But we had this other relationship. Now, they didn't go to that person to buy them a house. They're just going to that person to sell them the house, sell their house, because they sold the property around the corner. They did such a really great job with the staging, and they sold it for, you know, the price that they wanted to see their house sold at, right? They had a previous relationship that she could not get in front of, but got in front of enough for them to find her house, right? They had clear conversations about it. They weren't, you know, there was no malice, there was no weirdness. The point is that you start earning the business now. These activities under Sphere, these are about establishing value now before they have a need. Of course, they will come to you when they have a need because you're their person, right? So that's the objective, is for all of these things, is to not, you know, say, hey, do you need to buy or sell real estate? Do you need to buy or sell real estate? Do you need to buy or sell real estate? It is, hey, here's some, you know, emailing. Here's some interesting information about the area we live in, and, you know, a fun recipe. Call. It's a relational call. How's the family doing? Oh, last time we talked, you said your dog was having some challenges. How's it, you know, is any better? Oh, you know, I have this great vet that I go to. Oh yeah, my dog had that one time. You know, you should try castor oil. Oh yeah, Bob. You know what I mean? Whatever your thing is, right? You know, I say because Bea really likes animals, and she's, you know, she's committed to animals in her life. It's part of her passion. Share the passion. That's what, share the passion with people that you like and care about, and you know, and know you. Share your passions. It's not the minimize the real estate push. Okay, don't always be selling, because then people have to get through that. People, it's easier for people to push you away if you're selling them something.
Question for you, John.
What's that?
Question.
Yeah.
So you said text 5 people a day.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying don't be so aggressive with pushing real estate in their face. So this could just be any text. Just
thinking about you today. How's everything going?
You got it. Okay.
Keep it simple. That starts the conversation.
Okay.
I'll tell you both another anecdote. I was coaching this guy, Craig, and Craig been in the business 17, 18 years. For the last 10, he's like, I do 16 deals a year. Sometimes I do 15, sometimes I do 16, but I can't break that ceiling. You know, it's like I make a living, I'm happy, but I can't, you know, I can't break the ceiling at 15 deals. I'm like, well, tell me, how are you getting those deals? You're breaking it apart. He's like, well, you know, I started with Tom Ferry. I make 20 calls a day, 20 calls a day. And I'm like, okay, how many people are you talking to? He's like, 3 or 4. I'm like, okay. And what are those, tell me what those conversations look like. Oh, hi, it's Craig. How you doing? I'm just calling to see if you have any real estate plans for the next year. That's what he's saying. Okay. All right. What else you saying? Nothing. They'll tell me if they're planning to do anything, and if not, I said no. I'll call you in another 3 months, right? And I said, well, what about those 17 people who are not answering? What is it that why do you think they're not answering? They're busy, they're this, they're that, they're in the middle of doing something. I said, how many of those do you think are looking at who's calling and saying, oh, it's Craig. He's going to ask me if I need to buy or sell real estate. I don't want to, I don't plan to. So there's no need for me to pick up the phone. There's no need for me to have a conversation with Craig. Because Craig is like the guy from insurance salesman or the guy trying to sell you any other product. If you don't need that product, the answer is no. If you're annoyed by the question, the answer is no. So why is Craig still asking the same damn question, right? I said, Craig, think about if this conversation went nothing like that, and it was a relational conversation, and that person left that conversation thinking that you cared about them and that you actually liked them and that you actually didn't need anything from them, but you actually called to see if you could do anything for them. How many people would you think would pick up if you did that consistently? Right? Yes, there's always going to be people who are involved in other things, or they can't talk in that moment, or they just don't want to talk in that moment. Always going to be that, but it's not going to be 17 people. Okay, I can assure you, it's not going to be 17. Make the conversations relatable. Make them, I see you chomping at the bit, Will. And it's like, it's going to take everything in you to consciously not have a conversation about real estate. If they want to have a conversation about real estate, by all means, you have it. That's what you're there for. But work on the pretense that, hey, this person I'm calling, if they need to buy or sell real estate, I'm their guy already. So we've already established that. We don't need to have that. We don't need to have that conversation again today. We need to figure out how else can I be of service to this person? And if not, how can I deepen the bond so that not only when they have a need, but when their friends have a need, they think of me, right?
Okay.
The other marketing stuff. So on this, I don't know if you could see it, but I have M's and P's. So here again, quantify, emailing 3 times a month, and then get more specific. What are those emails? One's going to be my newsletter. One's going to be something to do in the neighborhood, something to do in LA, and one's going to be sharing a special article, right? Whatever it is, right? And then, but quantify, right? And then next is calls, right? Calls. This is 10 calls daily. This person, right? You choose the number that you'll actually do. I'd rather you say I'll do 3, and feel comfortable with doing the 3, and then grow from there when you see the benefit. But if you'll do 5, do 5. And by all means, if you'll do 10 calls, do 10 calls, because you will receive the benefit over time, right? This is, So whatever it is, write it in there. And this is just for your sphere. Okay, this is just for the people you know and know who know. This is not strangers. This is not leads. These are just contacts. Just people with two-way conversations who know you and you know them. These are going to have a client appreciation events. They're going to have 2 times a year, just for their sphere. Okay, just for the sphere. That could be, you know, this one has a holiday party. It could be a beach party. It could be an Easter parade. It could be a shred day. It could be a technology dump day. It could be it could be dog picture day. It could be you know, a free you know, you get a vet to go out there and do tests or something. I don't know what dogs you know, I have a dog, but you know what I'm saying? So like Rob does holiday pictures for dogs, right? Go in on what you like, right? That's a client appreciation. And then there's 3 handwritten cards. They you know, like a holiday card, a birthday card is always great, and then like just a little handwritten note. If you did those 3 for all the people in your sphere over the course of the year, you would be you'd be blowing it up, right? The math, well, let's finish the last one. This is texting. This person is going to do 5 texts a day, right? 5 texts a day. And it could be, hey, Will, was thinking about you today. How's it going?
Okay.
Oh, last time, you know, it always helps to go back to someplace where you were, right? If they told you about their kid, you know, trying to get into college, or, you know, graduating high school, or whatever it is, you know, you just tap back into that. You should take notes in your profiles. So the math on the your sphere, and that's a contact, people who know you, a two-way conversation, is this: 6% of your sphere will have a real estate need in the next year. 6%. If you have people on a 33 touch program, which means that they have some contact with you 33 times a year. If they're getting three emails a month, that's 36 touches right there. Okay. If they're getting calls on top of that, so this touch program here is in the 40s. So if you're on a at least a 33 touch program, and you with your sphere, 6% of them will have a real estate need, and you will naturally be able to garner half of them. So how many people in your sphere, would you say are in your sphere, Will?
All right. I would say about 2,000.
2,000 people who you have a two-way conversation with. It's not people you just throwing shit at, right?
Oh.
Oh.
All right, let's cut it in half to 1,000.
Cut it in half. All right, 1,000 people. So 6% of that is 60 will have a need. 60 of that 1,000 will have a need. And you, if you do this, if you stay attentive to staying in touch with them, minimum of 33 times a year, you should be seeing half of those come to you. As that's 30 deals, Will, that should be coming to you from your sphere alone, if you do a 33 touch program. Email, text, call, eventing.
What was the last one you said?
That's right there. This is texting, handwritten notes and cards, calls, emails, and a client appreciation event or two.
So can I ask some questions? I'm sorry.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here.
All right, cool. All right, so email, I got a newsletter that does that. Goes out, it actually goes out twice a month. So I got that system down.
Okay,
20 call, for me, it's 20 calls a day. I know you
20
said,
calls a day.
yeah.
How many of those people are you talking to?
You know what? Let's make it realistic. Let's cut it in half. 20 calls, 10 calls, 10 texts. My goal is 20 contacts, period. So if I
Excellent.
break it up that way, I still hit that 20 number.
This is just your sphere too, right?
Right, exactly.
There's going to be some touches. There's going to be contacts in here too.
Okay, so the third one, you got client appreciation at least twice a year. Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
Right. So my question is, and it's crazy that we really have to rethink things now because we're still in a pandemic. So what would be two, or how would you even approach that, like right now?
Outdoors.
Okay. Outdoors.
You know, so always build back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
There's no budget restriction. What are you doing?
Okay, so don't focus on the pandemic, basically.
No. I'm asking, yes.
So
I'm
one
asking you a
thing,
question. You have unlimited budget and
what would I do?
Okay,
Got it.
what do you
Okay.
do?
So here's, I used to do a gospel concert every year. I haven't did one in a couple of years. It's so funny. I was just talking to my wife, you know,
Sounds fabulous.
that I want to do one this year for a couple of reasons. One, because we haven't did it. Two, it's the 20th year anniversary for my marketing company. You know what I mean? So that would be one of my events. The second event for my spear, I'm gonna have to get creative on that one. Or unless I could do
No
two concerts.
budget. You have no budget,
No budget.
restrictions.
I would do two concerts a year, hands down. I love it, you know. Well, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna put a twist on it. All right, so I would do one gospel concert, and then I would do an R&B concert. I would just change it up, do something different, a different
I'll do
audience.
gospel, but I can't endure R&B.
Well, it won't.
No, I'll be gospel all day gospel. Bring it.
No, you just brought up a valid point because most R&B are young adults and some millenniums got the money, most of them don't. But if I do a jazz concert, I'm reaching an older audience.
Yeah.
So I'll go with jazz.
Okay.
I like that.
Good. And the point is, you know, and so what does that mean? You know, so what can I do and what I can't do, right? I'm gonna have a gospel concert, okay? So, okay, so socially responsible, I can't have thousands of people. Where would I have it that's big enough that, you know, the problems can be solved, compromises can be made, but you want to, you know, you don't want to start with the compromises, you know, blocking your thought on any of this, any of this. Don't start to eliminate. You could filter. There's plenty of time to filter.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Is what I say to you. And they're your people. They're the people who know you. They're the people who appreciate you already. And that is, you know, putting on an event like that is really, it really shows, you know, your abilities, right? It really shows, you know, your bones in you know, in what you're able to accomplish in any given moment. So Bea, I'm coming to you next. What is it that what is, I'll ask you the same question. You know, no budget restrictions. It doesn't, you know, it can be anything you want. No budget restrictions. What do you do to in an event?
I don't know. I've kind of been thinking about it because I know last year Maury did like a dog party where he had treats organized and he went to a park and then people
Yeah.
came. But I kind of wanted to do something because now I kind of want to do something like at Runyon, like so it's like hiking with your dogs, but then kind of coordinate with like a local shelter to see like I know there's like shelters that will hike with dogs that are, need homes and they have leashes that say like adoptable. So you just get a bunch of people to walk these dogs so they get like more exposure.
Yeah,
So,
I love that idea.
yeah, something
I
along those
love that
lines.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You just take the dog for a walk, see how it feels.
Now, Joey, would that fall up under spear or farming?
Well, that would be, that would be more of a farming piece, right?
Got it.
Well, like farming and social media, that could be anything. She could be, her thing could be, under one of these headings here, one of her goals could be, it could be, pet adoption. It could be a whole plan built around, it could be dog lovers. Boom,
Mhm.
dog lovers, right? Dog lovers I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have an expectation for that. And she could be doing volunteering, could be one of them. Having an event like that could be one of them. Doing, sending out, an informational newsletter to people. There's a lot of different things she could do under that one heading of, pet lovers as one of her goals in achieving that her goal. And it's easy to say, how many deals will I get from my dedication, from my activities in pet lovers? It sounds a
Mhm.
little abstract, but it's actually, people do business with people who have common belief systems. The love of a dog or a pet is a belief system. Going to church is a belief system. Love for a particular football team is a belief system, right? It's a platform to have commonality, right?
Mhm.
If any of you told me you're from Philadelphia, it's the first time we met. Oh, it's like, oh, you're from Philly. I know certain things about you. There's certain walls that come down. There's certain conversations that we have. The love of a dog, or the love of music, or the love of a Godhead. It's all in that same connective tissue between people. That's what you want to work. That's what those other two, well, these are already people you have. Sphere's already people you have that know you, that could trust you, and they trust you enough to have a two-way conversation, right?
Mhm.
The other two are, people we don't know, but they're people that we want to know. We want to take from not knowing to knowing, and them knowing what we do and the value of knowing us, right? And so, Abea sharing her passion for animals, you sharing your passion for gospel is a common connector for you and the people that might be attracted to being in business with you, right?
Okay.
And so, you have that concert, and you're going to have people that you know there, and you're going to have people that you don't know there. The objective in that moment is to get the people you don't know into the people you know, right?
Okay.
So, you'll have something purposeful at that event to garner connectivity, right?
Yes.
It's just a one-way conversation. And the same with Bea and there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This is the way you have to start to look at the activities that you're doing, because dialing for dollars is painful. Painful, painful, painful. Relationships will always be much, much easier to maintain.
Okay.
So, Bea, how many people you have in your sphere?
It's like probably like 400.
400. Okay, so again, 6% of that is, 6 times 20, it's 24, right? Is that correct? Yeah, 24, right? 6%, 6 of each 100 times 4. Yeah, it's 24, right? Then half of that is 12. There's 12 deals in that 400 for you, waiting for you, if you execute on a 33 touch plan for your sphere. Share all of your passion in all of these guys this way. Share all of it. You're both, the two of you, I know on some level at this point, right? And you're both caring people, right? Show your caring in front of your services. Caring first, services second. Okay, getting an email with the recent solds. Oh my God, I could shoot myself. But that doesn't tell me anything about you. That doesn't make me care about you. And it's information that I probably, even if I wasn't in the business, wouldn't care about as much as I receive. Right? We have too much information coming from so many different sources. And on top of it, if I really want that information, it's one click away, right? It's not hard to find, but human connection is not. It's interesting in this last 2 years with being in this Uber environment that we're in. People who I see, people whose businesses are relationship based thrive. People whose businesses are less relationship based, more services based, are having challenges. And people are, and I really think it's, people really want that connectivity. They want to be, there was I think in another market, they would work with an agent who they thought could, who was the neighborhood specialist, who would do the, who would get them the most for the least, right? I think in this particular market, they're looking for somebody that they could trust, somebody they could talk to, somebody that they like. And the more you can play that game and be that person, the better chances you're going to have in succeeding.
Okay.
Quantify all of your activities. And the next one we'll do the next 2 modules in the follow-up to this class. But think about what it is you're going to do. Make it big enough. Don't make it specific enough, too specific. Like for Bea, I wasn't saying do the Runyon, adopt a walk a dog program as the whole thing. It's your commitment to animals overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you want to focus on. And then build out different activities that you can do to tell that story, right?
Joey.
Yeah.
Question. I know you said holiday cards. do 3 cards a year. So holiday, birthday, what will be a third one?
If I would send out just like a handwritten card, just like one of those little, single sheets and just,
Okay.
spring, it's Thanksgiving, it's,
Mhm.
break them into pieces, do a little, you don't have to do them all at one shot.
Mhm.
So you have a couple themes, It's
Mhm.
Valentine's Day is coming up, share the love, you know what I mean? Put a little Valentine's sticker in there. It's, maybe do, it's springtime, send out if you have 1,000, you pick 10 events over the course of the year, right? You got Valentine's Day, you have a little message, you have springtime, maybe you send out some seed packets and, to 100. Then then you have summer fun, I hope you're enjoying your summer. Just make it personal, couple sentences, simple. Then you got back to school, you can have Thanksgiving, you can have whatever, you could pick out the themes that you want to over the course of the year, just to stay connected to people.
Okay. Got
Right.
it. Got it. Okay.
Don't that handwritten card is really just 2 sentences,
Right.
just like the text. I
Okay.
get my 10 people for the day, I write the one text, I copy it, and I send it, go to the next person, I put their name in, I paste it, I send it, I go to the next person, I put my name, I put their name in, I paste it, send it, and and then 10, and you see who responds. And then you start a little da, 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 and you're popping back and forth between, like 5 people who responded out of the 10 people that you texted. Hey, I was thinking about you today. How's everything going?
Okay. Got it.
It makes you top of mind. If you want to say top of mind. And
Okay.
imagine if you did that 3 times a year and they were getting that little, like, oh, Will, oh, Will, oh, Will, opposed to, oh, Will. You know what I mean? Oh, it's Will. He's just seeing if I need to buy or sell real estate. Oh, Will. He's just buying and selling real estate. Buying and selling real estate, And so people would rather not have that conversation,
Mhm.
even when they need to buy or sell real estate. They don't want to have it.
Okay.
What other questions about the sphere call?
I think that's it for me on the
Bea?
sphere call.
I think that's it for me. I mean, I think this breaks it down a lot clearer. And I think for me, I was just overthinking it. And I'm like, wait, no, this is my plan. I just need to do it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, just, for both of you, make sure it's your plan,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right? You don't have to do any of these, or you could do all of them, but, or you can add, or you can change, or whatever you're going to do, right? So these are just the rudimentary pieces. Some agents have special things that they do and special ways of interacting with, if you're like, hey, I'm going to have a dinner party once a week. I'm going to invite, 4 different people every week to dinner. Boom. That's a month. That's 16 people a month. That's 162. It's like, it's 180 people a month. I mean, a year, 170 people a year that you would have dinner with, that you made at your house, right?
Mm.
I say if you're doing it for 4, do it for 6. That'll make it a lot easier. 2 more. That's another 100 people. Boom, right off the bat. But think about what you're willing to do, what you enjoy doing, and build around that.
So I was trying to think of different goals for like the three. Like I know you use spear farming, social media. I was just trying to think of another one. Because to me,
Some people
social
do it through
media,
the internet. Some people do it through networking. Some people do it through, working at a hospital, volunteering at a hospital. I mean, whatever you're going to do, it's about supersizing it, right? It's about running the whole play in that realm.
okay. So another three would be networking, like you said, or events. And then to break down events, let's say a home buyer's workshop, credit repair would be two, probably have wills and trusts would be three,
I would call it education,
education.
because I don't think it's just the event. I think the
Okay.
event is part of it, but I also
Okay.
think, like, maybe you have a website that is informational that you could direct people to, right? So building a website that has, distressed properties, geriatric real estate, this, a bunch of different problem solving, short sale, this, just information that you can give them, right?
Got it.
Then it could be, you have a newsletter for any new information that comes out in any particular, you build out, I want to be the resource for information at this level.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to provide education and access to information.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Sometimes we go too specific, sometimes we go too general, right? And
Right.
I think you could do more
Right.
to add, facets to that.
Okay. I know you said you'll probably deal with it later, but I'm just, just processing it all in my mind since I see it.
No. Ask questions, because I want you to come to the next one with these two.
Got it.
Worked out, right? Because
So
then I can help you build them out.
got it. Social media, you post 4 times a week.
Again, this is what this person was willing to do. 4 times a week, and some of them.
What's the second one?
4 times a week, and some of them 3 static posts and 1 video per week.
3 static, 1 video. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. If they're all, never mind. I ain't gonna even ask that. Okay. What's number 2?
Drag them into the DMs. Drag 2 people into the DMs twice a day.
Okay. So DM.
So that comes with the 20-10-5-1, right? So 20-10-5-1 is 20 minutes a day between 7 and 9 p.m. or 7 and 9 a.m. They're the hours that people are most active on social media.
Right.
Go on to your sphere group or the people you know group, right? And so it's 20 minutes. Make 10 comments. Ask 5 questions. And drive to 1 meeting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's what the 2010. Okay.
20 minutes, 10 questions. I'm sorry, 10 statements, 5 questions, 1 meeting. And so in those questions and in those statements, you want to, the way to get social media to work for you, Will, is to create 2-way conversations.
Right. Exactly.
You're making a statement and they make a statement back, and you don't engage in a conversation. So the 10 and the 5, the statement and the question, that's how you pull them into the DMs.
Okay. And
So,
1 meeting.
You know what that means?
Yes. 1 meeting.
All the kids are doing it, man.
Gotcha.
Sliding into the DMs, right? You know what I mean? So you're having so you start, if I make a statement about somebody's post and then they immediately respond to it, I will DM them. And I'll say, oh, I just DM'd you, right? So that we can have a conversation off to the side that's not in the thread, right?
Got it.
You ask a question
Okay.
about a restaurant, and it doesn't have to, you know, it's about a restaurant, it's about the kids, it's about that, blah, blah, blah. Relational.
Got it.
Hey, I see you got a new chair. Are you thinking about selling your house? You know, you don't want you don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see you're pregnant. You should probably get a new house. You know, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations. You look so beautiful pregnant. When you do, you know, you keep it relational and move it over to the D. That's what I say, drag people into the DMs. Once you drag them into the DMs, you're having a conversation. It's just like texting.
Okay.
If you're going to do social media, you want to be purposeful, and you want to be purposeful about prospecting. It's easy for social media to be marketing. This is what I do. This is what I did. This is what I'm about to do, right? It's more difficult to create a dialogue with someone.
Mm-hmm.
That happens on their post more than it happens on your post.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Got it.
What else you got?
Number 3, blogging. How does that connect with social media?
Vlogging.
Yeah.
So video blog or blogging, you take excerpts of it and you post it on social media to drag people over to your vlog, either on YouTube is what it would probably be. So if you got a informational YouTube about distressed properties or short sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you take a snippet of that, the sexiest little snippet, you put it into your social media and it links back to your blog. And so you're creating
Oh, okay.
You're creating connectivity between all of your pieces.
Okay.
So if I created a vlog, if I was committed to doing a vlog or a blog, I would be doing several. I wouldn't just let it sit on YouTube, right? I'd put pieces, snippets of it on Facebook. I put snippets of it on YouTube. No, yeah, not YouTube. Instagram, right? I'd maybe even put it, do a little bump up of it and put it on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
right? To drive people to my vlog, to see that. My vlog's attached to my website. It makes it possible for them to ask more questions and for them to interact.
Okay.
So you use it. Oh, and then also put it on your newsletter or your email. It goes out in an email. Oh, I just did a new blog post about a new YouTube video about staging your house, whatever. And so you send it out. It's one of your mailers. So out of that one YouTube video, you have you get an email, you get a couple posts out of it on different social media, and there you go. If you go through trouble making it, use it as much as possible.
Okay.
Right? There was this team in the Midwest, they do this magazine every month, right? This big old magazine. They only send the magazine out to 50 people, but they take the articles and they post it online. They take then they post it, and then they take the articles and they send it out via email. And then they take the articles and they put it on I said Facebook already, but they put it on put it in their blog. So it's in the blog, it's on their email, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, whatever. You use it everywhere, and they send out the magazine to 50 people.
Okay.
They take that effort and they diversify the usages of that information.
Okay.
This way, people who know you and in your sphere already, they're present in that. They'll see all of that. They'll read some of it, but they'll see all of it. They'll see what level you participate in. And that's why you don't have to have the conversation, the real estate conversation when you call them, because they've already seen it. They know your high level, right? And oh, this high level friend of mine is calling me to just see how I am. Right? How do
Mhm.
you think that makes them feel?
Got it.
You know, I mean, it's powerful when you start to look at the impact that you can have if you let go of what you want, right? Your expectation,
Mhm.
and just listen to what they want. They'll tell you how to get their business, maybe indirectly, but they'll tell you.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, you guys?
Let me see.
Save something for the second class there, hot pants.
This handout, this ain't the 135, is it?
What is not?
The handout that was attached to the chat.
I don't know. Let me see.
I don't think it is. I've seen it before. It don't look right.
Oh no, action plan worksheet.
You got neighborhood association.
That's for farming.
That's a good one. So that would be like a HOA, condos, things of that nature. Right?
Sure. Show up where you live. If you're farming the area you live in, then
So what does that mean exactly? Like, I'm trying to
again,
process it as far as making activities.
the activity is you belong.
So if you living in an HOA,
Yes, you live in
basically.
an HOA, or you're living in just like Laura's the president of her neighborhood association.
Oh, so
Big
different
fair.
community
Big
associations.
fair.
Got it.
Yeah.
So got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's like networking in your local farm.
Oh yeah, but don't just show up. If you're going to show up, then you might as well show up big, right? She's the president of that organization.
Okay. So neighborhood association. Be the president.
That's where your neighbors live.
Yeah, I'm thinking because so you don't mean like a HOA as far as a building, but like a community association.
Like a neighborhood.
Say that one more time, Will.
So like I live in an HOA, I live in a condo. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out how can I maximize that. I live in a condo. It's about 18 units. So I'm just trying to figure out in my little case, how do I maximize that? Of course, we see each other in passing, but what would be, or is that staying on a much bigger scale? Like I'm a part of the local California Association of Realtors, so it will be on a bigger scale, right?
Yeah, or not, but yeah, sure.
You can go either way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in my condo building, what's a good example? Like,
Then I would say, then get on the board.
okay,
That's what I would say.
okay,
Be part of the conversation.
mm-hmm.